I learnt Thai via Skype for 4 months, and we did progress fairly well. But now I've done 6 days intensive course with the Rapid Thai, and I've learnt more in that 6 days than I have in 4 months. The people that I've spoken to had been learning Thai, or virtually to a person, said the best way to do it is to learn how to read Thai, and then from there progress to how to speak Thai. Phonetically, in between different books and the teacher, the same word would be produced in different ways, and when you produce those phonetically, they didn't sound similar, so I realised that that wasn't the best way to learn Thai. I spoke to a lot of people who'd been trying to learn how to read Thai. They seemed to be going down a fairly academic route, and the results were slow and very mixed. So I decided to look around for something that was a bit alternative that would speed up the process. Well, I tried the free trial course to start with, and while it was only a limited number of letters that I learnt, I'd only looked at it for an hour or so and drove past a shop and recognised a word that I could read in Thai, and that's when I realised that there in fact was a system that I could learn to read Thai fairly quickly that was intuitive, that I could understand. I'd done a reasonable amount of preparation before I came because I knew it was going to be fairly intense, and I think that's one of the keys to the course, is that you do some preparation before you come. But having said that, the 6-day course leads you through all the different aspects that you need to understand to read Thai. It was very comprehensive, and I got to the end of the course and realised it was a system which had really been designed to integrate all the different aspects of reading Thai: tones, letters, consonants and vowels, how to identify what might be a word and what might not be a word. And so the course has actually really been excellent. After the first day I realised that the system that Gary had developed worked, that you had to put work into it to get something back out of it, but if you took the course as it was designed, that even after a day you could recognise some fairly simple words, and I think after only 8 hours on the first day, that's a pretty big achievement. You take in a great deal of information in 6 days. That's not bad, but you have to take it away with you, I think, and have to continually go back and work your way back over the course at some point in the next week or two, simply because you can't do it in 1 week and then remember all and be fluent. So it's just like anything. You have to go back and revise, you have to do some homework, and you have to go back and pick up bits that you might have missed first time through. But you've got all the details and information with you, and you can go and do it at home. But I wouldn't spread it out over a longer period. But I wouldn't want to do it in a shorter period either. I think 6 days allowed a speed at which you could take stuff in. It also allowed time to go back and revise things if you missed something. So 6 days for me was excellent, but I will have to go back and probably work my way through some of the subtleties that I may not have picked up the first time. The most important thing I've achieved in the 6 days is that I've got all the foundation, the rules, the processes, that I can sit down and I can read a word in Thai without someone guiding me on how to do it. I can go through the elimination process of various different aspects of that word and work out what it might be and what it might not be. But from there, then I can build up my Thai vocabulary over a period of time, and I think that's incredibly important if you want to be able to speak Thai fluently.
Yeah, I've been coming to Thailand for 10 years. I've got a Thai wife and a 1-year-old Thai daughter, and I knew no Thai. The first few years I used to carry my little book around and try and remember what people were saying to me and try and take notice, and then I'd go back home and then I'd soon forget it, and then when I'd read these books out, no one could ever understand me, and I'd say things like the name of the Bangkok airport and no one would know what I was talking about, and I just got to the point where I got frustrated with it and I just mostly spoke to people in English. I just gave up. Yeah. When my daughter was born, I knew that it was time that I had to try and do something. I've got a head injury, so I also had this fear because I didn't think I could memorise things. So I started looking around on the internet and I come across Gary's course. But I looked at a few things and maybe spent 20 minutes and realised that I could pick it up. But I wasn't really confident enough to just take on the internet course, so I decided to wait until I could get in, do the full week. So here I are. I've got frontal lobe damage, could affect my memory slightly. It's affected my speech. My speech is slower. I like to blame my memory on my head injury. Whether that's true or not, I'm not sure. I never did any homework before I got here. I didn't didn't have a look at any of it. I had a busy week and I just come here. I didn't want to delay it, so I could have maybe not come and put it off until next time, but I decided to jump in, and I'm glad that I did because I got a good start. Well, I can look out all the consonants and most of the vowels. I've still got more work to do on the vowels, but all the consonants I know. Most of the vowels I've got, just got to fine tune a little bit better. And I can put together many words. I need to do more work, but I've got a good grounding, a good start. I've got some level of tones. I don't think that's the hard part for me. Gary's explained it in a way that I think when I'm eventually happy with where I am at, being able to know all the vowels and the consonants and be able to stop the sentences in the right spot, when I start putting the tones, I think that would just fall into place. And also just living in Thailand, listening to people, different words that I've already picked up through being involved in this course. I can talk and pronounce and read Thai. I don't necessarily understand everything that I'm reading, but I can read it. Only last night we were at the local shop and I read Fire Exit. So I read it out to my wife and that surprised her because I haven't shown her much during the week. So I read it out. Well, she asked me what it meant and I was able to tell her only because it was written in English underneath. But I knew how to say it and she understood what I meant without knowing what I was looking at. That was a success for me. You know, she really didn't think that I was going to be able to get anywhere in only 1 week. She thinks that she can teach me, but we didn't get far in the last 3 or 4 years. I've got a good start now. I can also use her now more just to get my tones right and explain things to me. Yeah, Gary introduced us to a Chung Chung Chung. It's an elephant song. Looks of Joys, any Thai person that has heard me. My daughter loves the song already. I'm going to be learning to sing it with her. She's getting to the age where she'll start to talk and sing, so I'm looking forward to it.